is to show you slopes. And this is for Texas TEK 8.3C, a graph linear function on the coordinate plane, and identify key features including x-intercept, y-intercept, zeros, and slope in mathematical and real-world problems. So for this, to make this a real world problem, we'll just say that this graph right here is, let's just say that this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. This line would represent a mountain. Let's just say that the mountain started underwater, right? And we want to see what position they are on a mountain in x and y values. So you can substitute numbers in to this equation here, and you would find their position on the mountain. That's pretty much how you can relate this to a real world problem. First thing is to find the slope. We have our slope formula right here. You may want to jot this down. In this video, you can pause this video and write down these equations. I am a tutor. I'll put my link down below for you to get if you want to start a session. Slope formula. Go ahead and write that down. It's right here. It's y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And let's just say we're given the points 0, 1, and then -3, 0. And all we do to find the slope is we substitute these numbers from the points into the equation. So for this one, for y2, I'll just go 0 right here, then use this 1 right here. Now, if I use this 0 here for y2, I have to use this number right here for x2. So if I use this for y2, I have to use this for x2. And vice versa. If I use this one for y2, I have to use this one for x2. That's the only rule in this. So in this situation, it doesn't matter which one you want to use for each value, really, but you have to follow that rule. So let's just say I just went ahead and used this y for y2, and then this 1 for y1. And then I use this x for x2. Then I use this 0 for x1. Then I went ahead and factored it out. Got -1 divided by -3. We know that any numbers, negative numbers, when you divide a negative number into a negative number, you get a positive number. So I'll come down here, follow my arrow, down to 1 divided by 3. Then you might want to pause here. This is the slope intercept form of a function or linear equation. So right here, I would just substitute. I would find one of these points. I found the slope already. The slope is 1/3. So I put 1 over, and this is kind of small. I apologize. This is 1 divided by 3 multiplied times x plus 1. That's really what that says. I just use any one of these points up here. I can use these. In this case, I used, for this one, I used 0. Well, you can plug up any points you want to, but what you need to do, let me rephrase that. For this right here, the best thing to do, if you want to go b, this value right here is always going to be your y-intercept. It's where the line of your function, whether it be a graph, quadratic equation, whatever this line intercepts the y-axis, that's b. Wherever your function, whatever it is, intercepts the y-axis right here, that is going to be your b always. Remember that. In this case, it's going to be 1 in this equation. Now, this graph is not really corresponding good to these points. I will go ahead and admit that. But in this equation, like I said, the y-intercept right here, b, is going to be 1. We know that because in this point right here, 0 is x. So that means that's the y-axis. Whenever time 0 is x, you're on the y-axis, basically. So that lets me know the corresponding value is 1. So b is going to be 1. And I just simply put 1 right there because that's going to be b. That's the y-intercept, b. And let's just say you wanted to, so let's say a person climbed up a mountain. We could plug numbers into this equation right here for x, we can plug x values in here, and each x value we got, we can find how high they went up the mountain and y values. And if you want to find x, you simply have to rearrange the equation. So you have to do reverse to get x by itself. You have to do reverse to get this x by itself. Slope is m. Let me back up. Slope is always going to be m. The m in this equation. So if you want to find x, you would have to get x by itself. So first I would b is plus over here, so I have to do reverse operation. So I would make b minus on this side, on this on this equation. Then m is multiplied times x, so I just do the reverse operation. So m would be dividing on the other side of the equal sign of this operation. So that's how I got x by itself. And that's all you got to do. If you plug y values in until you get the x value you're looking for. That's how you get this. And this will be the graph. This will be like I said, this will be y-axis, x-axis. This is the mountain, and this every x value you put in. Let's say you put in every x value. Let's say x is water, and the mountain is going above the water, but water meets the mountain right here. And you can start, right here. Of course, here y would be negative, x would be a certain value, and you keep plugging x values in until you see how that person climbed the mountain. And this is, of course, underwater because it's under the x value. I just made it simple. So that's pretty much it when you want to find slope and all your values. That's all you have to do. Now another way you can do this, you can actually use a TI calculator, TI Inspire. I actually use a TI app. It's an app, TI A.3 app that you can actually just put on your phone. It's easy, free, and you can just do that real easy. All you really have to do is go to y equals on your TI calculator and put the value of this right here in y equals. Check the box and just push the graph button. It'll graph it for you. Then it'll pop up a button called table. Push the table button, and then it'll tell you all the x values in the column, all the y values in the column, and as long as you see that this x value corresponds to this y value, and this x value corresponds to this y value, you got it right. But if they don't, then that means you've done something wrong. Like I said, I'll put a link here for my tutoring session if you want to do that. That's all you have to do for these.